Hi, I'm Drew of Drew and a Review. And while you're here, take a look at this poster for me. What are you feeling? Really soaking in. When I first heard of this movie in the year 2000, I thought this was one of the stupidest ideas I had ever heard of. Finally, Rocky and Bullwinkle, those beloved characters from the 60s I have barely ever heard anybody talk about, taking the big leap into live action. Where does the line start? This movie seemed so aggressively unnecessary to me that, honestly, I couldn't stop thinking about it over the years. I even made a sketch of Rocky and Bullwinkle once for an art assignment. The joke being that it was ridiculous anyone would spend time drawing these characters that nobody cared about. Finally, in late 2013, I had to know just how bad this movie was. I decided to watch it. In fact, the first thing I ever tweeted was that I was watching the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. Wow, isn't that great? And while watching it, well, it's not what I thought it would be. For one, I was not prepared for how low the movie was willing to sink with its puns.
It's almost as if there were a mole in the White House.
That's just ridiculous.
Prompting the college president to bestow upon Bullwinkle an honorary Mooster's degree.
We don't have time to get to Washington.
This is no time to worry about getting the washing done.
I don't hate all puns. Puns can be fun. But then I hear puns like this.
What kind of music is that?
Hip-hop.
Okay, but I'd still like to know what kind of music it is.
And puns like that make me think, puns make you want to die. My other big fear was that there'd be a lot of modern jokes, like Rocky and Bullwinkle would get into a dance battle with the Backstreet Boys or something, or...
Oh, okay, but I was just getting jiggy with it.
Or say something like that, yeah. But aside from that, I was surprised that this movie mostly steered clear of emphasizing modern times. In fact, more often than not, the movie kind of lied about modern times.
A lot has changed in 35 years. Velcro has replaced the zipper. Sneakers have lights on them.
Heavens to Betsy, this car is sticking its tongue out at me.
So, I'm an idiot, and the first time I saw this, I actually thought in the year 2000, some cars actually had fax machines. Fun fact, they didn't. And, by the way, I lived through the year 2000. This movie not only lied to characters from the past, but also to idiots from the future. And yeah, some of you are probably noticing that's Kenan and Kel. They had a show in the 90s. They were modern at the time. But there's not any attention brought to that other than this.
Say, where you guys been all this time, huh?
Reruns.
You know that's never gonna happen to us, right?
What's fascinating is that within a month of this movie coming out, the show Kenan and Kel aired its final episode, effectively sending them into reruns. Did they know this? The movie even avoided pointing out much about the real world in general. In fact, the real world wound up being cartoony, just like the cartoon world. It's a little weird, but it's mostly fun. To get Bullwinkle from DC to New York, they literally shove him into a computer and email him. Oh man, I miss the early 2000s depiction of the internet. When a movie has to be greenlit, there's this whole creative process where it's a literal green light emanating from a lighthouse that sucks up movie characters based on what levers you pull.
But at that very moment, Boris and Natasha's rental agreement suddenly expired, and they were immediately blockaded by the dedicated agents of the cheapo rent-a-car company.
Imagine the timing it took to get that joke right. Same thing with the way things fall out of this truck. Was that an accident? Was that meticulously planned? The amount of effort put into pulling some of these things off is incredible. But also, the movie does kind of get lost within its own logic.
I ain't a cartoon no more.
But he fell exactly like a cartoon character would, so why does it matter that he's not a cartoon character? And listen, nothing will confuse me as much as this transition.
At the moment of truth, she will be plugged directly into the quality control current and turned into a helpless.
I probably shouldn't think about this too much, but I will. At first, I couldn't figure out why the entire Earth was in the bad guy's eye. I think it was after I viewed this moment 20 times that I put together, no, the whole movie isn't happening within his eye is reflecting the image of Earth from the screen in front of him. So I guess that adds up. But I can't figure out why the real world phases into the animated world and then phases back into the real world. Alright, I should probably drop this. Here are the top 5 implications of that transition. Number 1, this character sees the live-action world as animated rather than live-action. Number 2, there is no discernible difference between the animated world and the live-action world. The worlds are constantly able to transition between each other. Number 3, okay, I don't feel like thinking about this anymore. But listen, I haven't addressed the most glaring part of the poster yet. How Rocky and Bullwinkle look. They really could have benefited from better CG. Well, is that what they'd look like? This is from 2014? I don't really like that. It's too detailed. Maybe just regular old 2D. Oh, there's just straight up a 2D character in this movie. He looks okay. But, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I kind of prefer what they landed on. Computer animated versions of traditionally animated models. Yeah. I guess I don't really want straight-up 2D characters either. Oh no, what have I done? I do think that the live-action casting is shockingly good.
Is nowhere in whole world we don't run into that busybody.
Where we go now, darling?
Get ready for a taste of Pennsylvanian hospitality.
That's ability to put you in hospital, darling.
Robert De Niro could maybe make his voice a little more shrill like the actual character.
A special high-level, top-secret, confidential sketch of the ultimate weapon.
Quality control will exaggerate its mind-numbing properties until the audience is completely hypnotized.
Come on, this is the actor from Taxi Driver.
You talking to me?
Yeah, that movie.
Are you talking to me?
Oh no.
Are you talking to me?
Oh no, Robert, stop.
And who else are you talking to?
Robert, this isn't Taxi Driver. Robert,
Are you talking to
why are
me?
you doing this, Robert? This
I'm the
doesn't
only
even
one
make
here.
sense in context. This kind of gives me whiplash, because in the same breath this movie makes a gratuitous pop culture reference, it also spends a lot of time satirizing pop culture obsession.
Section C, paragraph 22. Celebrities are above the law. This case is dismissed.
A fearless leader plans to broadcast TV shows so terrible, they'll turn anyone who watches them into a mindless zombie incapable of independent thought.
Totally different than regular TV.
And the laughter never gets away with 3 funny and wacky spies and their horse, who will also be a spy.
I love how inane that close-up is. I would honestly watch this show. And if you can believe it, on top of everything, the movie was self-aware.
Reckless driving, 4 counts. Talking to the audience, 5 counts.
The expensive animated characters were instantly converted into even more expensive motion picture stars.
But she really is with the FBI.
Yeah, and I'm really John Goodman. Let's get in the car.
Rocky and Bullwinkle themselves were forced to subsist on ever-diminishing residual checks from reruns of their old show.
There has never been a way to actually destroy a cartoon character until now.
What about that movie Roger Rabbit?
Shut up! This is totally different!
So, overall, I have no idea how to feel about this movie. There's a lot of thought that went into it, and then clearly moments of almost no thought at all. Honestly, it makes the funny jokes even funnier because you never really know when a funny joke is coming. But it also makes things tough to process. Like, look at this moment here with this helicopter pilot that only shows up for this moment.
Boy, if I had a missile, I'd blow your buns right out of the sky.
I love the ambiguous, overly dramatic characterization given to this completely unimportant character. I have no idea if this is intentional or not. For years, all I could really piece together about this movie is that it fascinated me. And I finally decided that I needed to take the next step in figuring this out. I needed to actually watch the show this was based on. As I was looking into this show, I was surprised to learn that it wasn't some dumb, barely remembered show like I had assumed it was. It was actually very revered for its above and beyond intelligence and even considered pioneering. So I went into this show the opposite way I went into the movie. I was ready for some quality entertainment. And boy, was I not expecting the show to be so similar to the movie. The bad puns? They're all there.
For a while, Rocky was certainly going downhill fast, but a few seconds later, he was really going up in the world.
Bullwinkle I got it!
8 ball in his side pocket.
No, an idea!
Yeah, must have got the wrong cue. Carrots, too.
Oh, come on!
Never thought you'd go hi-hat, Rocky.
Hi-hat?
You're the only fella I know who takes a 14-carat bath.
The unexpectedly thoughtful jokes. They're all there.
And the brave squirrel reached in the back of a nearby armored car that he and Bullwinkle happened to have.
Doesn't everybody?
You know why I've called you in on this job?
Because I'm trustworthy, loyal, brave, and efficient.
No, because you work cheap.
That too.
A kind of polka dot skywriting.
What's it say, General? U.S. Cease firing! Don't harm a hair of his head! That is a U.S. taxpayer!
The self-aware jokes. They're all there.
Well, darling, there goes 14 episodes of effort up in smoke.
I don't like this a bit, Bullwinkle.
I agree. He must have terrible writers.
Meanwhile, our heroes were lying stunned in a vegetable cellar underneath the house.
Where am I?
In a vegetable cellar, didn't you hear the man?
I want you to watch this television program featuring the moose and the squirrel.
What I do? I didn't do nothing. What I do?
The moose and the squirrel. Yes, they're also there. I wasn't expecting this level of an adaptation. The movie really did justice to the source material. It's a much better adaptation than the 2018 TV show reboot, which... that's different. It was only after seeing the original show with a positive mindset, and seeing it do exactly what the movie did, that I realized I like this movie. I like it a lot. It's a great mix of dumb humor and smart humor. It's enchantingly bizarre. Sure, there are some things the adaptation missed the mark with. Oh no. Was this in the movie? Oh, this is awful. But I don't care. The movie is good. I decided it was terrible in 2000, and 20 years later, I totally changed my mind. So look at this poster again. This is the poster of a good movie. So when you read that it's not the same old bull, you know it's true. See you next time.